Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well today. We're going to take a look at Saturn and Aries that is happening on May 24th, 2025. I do want to give you a refresh of Saturn. Saturn can represent bosses and mentors. It can represent fathers. It gives you lessons to help you grow within your power and your tenacity. It can also be where self-sabotaging tendencies are, but it can also help you with those self-sabotaging tendencies by showing you the power that you have within. It is where you grow slowly and take your time, which means that you may visit a lesson over and over again. This could also be a representation of loss. Now, when Saturn makes something leave your life, is so that you can find that courage within to understand that it was good for you or that you can overcome it. In some astrology aspects, Saturn could represent karma, karma that needs to be burned. And this could have been karma from a past life that needs to be overcome to propel you to your next life. But Saturn in Aries will structure and give you that authority as the individual. This can also create chaos in the collective because they will want to rebel if that authority isn't giving them their individual need. Saturn represents authority and bosses and father figures, work, slow lessons to power. You are being taught by Saturn how to embrace your power as the individual. This could mean that you have to structure your life with boundaries to promote growth and success. This could also mean that an authority figure places their rules and structures upon you to help you grow. Power struggles could be at play because sometimes humans have a difficult time growing and structuring their life for the better. That is where those self-sabotaging tendencies could come in with Saturn, okay? Because Aries mixed in could give some type of form of rebellion. But Saturn will prevail in its lessons of showing you who you truly are and what you can become. You will overcome the fears of being your own leader, physically and emotionally. You will grow tenacity and confidence and understand that you have power, choices, and understand that you yourself can get through anything and come out as a warrior. This transit will also have you restructuring your truths, but that will happen when Saturn goes retrograde. You will learn how to become your own parent, your own father within. So I'm going to go over all the signs. Please watch your sun, moon, and rising sign to get a full picture of how this is happening within your world. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment, let me know how this is working out, and I'll see you soon. Hi, Leo. I hope you're doing well today. This is for Leo, sun, moon, or rising. We're going to take a look at the Saturn and Aries that is happening. Let me grab my pen. My pen is being difficult. Okay. That is happening in the ninth house. All right. So the ninth house deals with your belief system. It deals with skills and learning abilities. The bigger picture. Teachers, preachers, and gurus are here. In-laws and grandchildren and grandparents. Higher education, media, publishing, legal cases are here. We have the house of blessings activated with the ninth, long distance travel, and going abroad. So with Saturn here, Saturn can represent authority figures. It can represent leadership abilities. It can represent father figures. Also, lessons in regards to how you believe or situations of looking at the bigger picture. Aries being involved can be passionate. Aries can be confident. Aries is ruled by Mars, so there could be some animosity that comes around, some anger in regards to professors, in regards to teachers, preachers, and gurus. Okay, so please keep that in mind if that happens. Maybe even a boss, right? That is of a religious factor. That could be very religious or exploiting their belief system toward you. Okay. With Saturn, Saturn can also be loss. Now, Saturn is activated in everybody's chart right now. So, loss is prevalent in everybody's chart. So, you could change teachers, preachers, or gurus, or there could be a loss of a teacher, preacher, or guru. Same with an in-law, grandparent, and grandchildren because they're activated. So keep that in mind. Now, fathers are activated too with the ninth house. With Saturn. So in everybody's chart, let me remind you. So it's there. It's a definition, so I'm going to say it, okay? Father figures that aren't necessarily a person that is male. It can just be someone that is in leadership. It can be someone that holds the authority within the family, within your family, okay? As you were a child, that person held that authority. It could have been a mom. It could have been an aunt. Doesn't matter. Right? That person could be prevalent loss. Okay, so keep that in mind. As Saturn is working in the ninth house, there could be some triggers that happen in regards to maybe childhood belief systems, because we're dealing with Aries. This is the first house of the zodiac. Aries is what it rules, is the first house. So you could feel like people are offending you more. You could feel like you have to change something that you believed as a child so that your perspective on the bigger picture can change. You may even receive an invitation to or find a teacher, preacher, or guru that exploits that change for you, that helps influence another belief system toward you, okay? Of course, everybody has someone that they use as a mentor within their life, and this could be a time to where you see them as being human, or you understand the fact that unconditional love has to happen for those teachers, preachers, or gurus, because they too are human like you, okay? Saturn has a way of showing you lessons of don't believe everything that you hear when it's in the ninth house. Also, it tells you that you are capable of being a leader yourself and guiding your own belief system, whether it means that you need to teach others how to do the same thing that you did before, right? That could be something too. Or that don't be gullible to other people's belief systems, okay? Now, ninth house is also long distance travel, and Saturn being work, represented by work, it could make you travel at a long distance for work. It could be that you're traveling that long distance and Saturn is working on you internally, In regards to leading your own belief system about being able to travel on your own. A lot of people have trouble traveling solo, right? And this could be a time to where Saturn works that way, or Saturn could be an older person in your world, or even your father, right? Or a person of admiration that you're traveling with during this time. And Saturn will give you some type of epiphany or some type of realization, maybe even an awakening in regards to what you need to do next on the bigger picture or your belief system in general. Okay, Saturn can also work that way while having the physical happening. Okay. Ninth house being skills and learning abilities, there's a story that you're telling yourself that maybe needs to change in regards to what you're capable of. Saturn will show you that you are capable of doing so, whether that means you getting a higher education, or whether that means that you're capable of teaching, preaching, right? Or Saturn can work with you in regards to whether you are capable of taking care of a person that is Saturnian. Now, I do want to remind you that Saturnian also means Capricorn. So it could be a person that is a Capricorn, a person that is older, or this could be a situation of Saturn representing those people that you admired, right? And then all of a sudden they're asking for your help. They're being human. You see the humility within. And Saturn is showing you that you yourself can be a leader. You yourself can have the capability of taking care of someone that you deem having more skills, more intelligence, what have you. You fill in the blank, but you are being put on the spot to take the reins, okay? Same with in-laws and grandparents and grandchildren, all right? I do want to say, too, that the ninth house being activated, there could be times when Saturn goes retrograde that you struggle within in regards to your religious belief. To each is their own. Just remember that everyone's truth is an opinion. It's not necessarily the truth, right? And you have to look at it in a broad perspective of how everyone believes and how you want to believe. Okay? Because whatever story that you have been telling yourself in regards to your abilities, in regards to your religious beliefs, that's been holding you back, blocking you from taking the next step, Saturn will cut it out. Because Aries is also ruled by Mars, which is cutting, and Saturn is loss. So it could be a loss of belief. Okay? All right, so we're going to look at other aspects that are happening. We have that first house activated, which goes along with the definitions that I had already given you. But Aries rules this house. Aries is image, looks, physical body, your identity, the way that other people see you, your physical appearance, your self-leadership, and how you govern yourself within the world. It can also be exploration of sexuality, okay? With the first house activated with the ninth, this could be that you have a push and pull in regards to your sexuality, or this could be that you have a push and pull in regards to where in your religious belief does it define love, right? Because Leo is love. Leo is fun. Leo is enjoyment and hope, joy, and optimism. you're going to see and look around and ask yourself, why doesn't this religion that I have implement as much joy, hope, love, and optimism as it should? You could also stop and look around in regards to, why doesn't these people, aunts, uncles, cousins, relatives, nieces, nephews, and neighbors, also implement love while they are in that religion? And I'm going to show you why. Okay. So Aquarius is activated with Pluto right now. And Aquarius also has the ruler of Saturn. Okay. And Aquarius is in the 7th, which is ruled by Libra. And that's your 3rd house that represents aunts, uncles, cousins, relatives, nieces, nephews, and neighbors. So this isn't just about you. You're going to take a look around and you're going to see factors of other people being in this belief system and how they're acting, and you're going to want more. There could be a time of Saturn showing you that maybe you have to lead it to have more, right? Maybe you have to bring out that capability of love, that capability of joy, hope, and optimism. Okay? So keep that in mind. I only showed you this because, and I didn't include Aquarius in other people's readings. I only showed you this so that you could understand the connection between you and other people and how it impacts everything around you. Because we are the 5 people that we hang out with, and relationship is here. Business associations are here. The way that you run life within your world is activated with your belief system. Okay? And I have to show you this so that you understand and perceive in a different manner. 1st house is also your physical body. So whatever story that you've been telling yourself, it could have been affecting your health. The story has to change. And I learned this from Tony Robbins. I'm going to share with you what I learned. But whether or not the facts that are perceived from you, the truth, quote unquote, that are perceived from you, whether or not it is what it is, you have to change the story. Okay? So say that your mom, for example, was a very harsh person, that she exploited you in some way. She maybe even was abusive in some factor. It could have dealt with her belief system. It could have dealt with how she grew up. There has to be a change of your belief system to change your identity so you can understand that everyone is human and they did the best they can, even if they didn't, right? You have to believe in your heart that they did the best they could at the time that was happening so that you can change your story. Okay? Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has failure. Yours could have been more so than others, that this person that is in your world was evil in your head, or was a person that should have known better in your head. And then I want you to look back at your life, if you are the age of that person now, of when it was happening, and see how there could have been flaws within them. See how there could have been situations that happened in their world that prevented them from giving you the love that you deserved. Okay? Because that story is surrounding that person. That person does not have the responsibility of making you happy. It is your responsibility to make yourself happy. You are held accountable. So to make yourself happy, you have to look at that story and change it. You have to look at that belief system that you have that's keeping you from doing the things that need to be done and change it. There is a fear surrounding that story. There is a fear that you haven't looked at in a long time because it hurt. There is a fear that you've been going through here lately, especially with Saturn that was in Pisces before, to where you had to have unconditional love and compassion, right? There's a transformation that's been going around, whether it dealt with that person in particular, whether that person is even around anymore, right? It could be that they passed away and you still feel the same way that you do. The thing about it is, in this world that we live in, belief systems matter. You holding yourself accountable for what you do and your actions matter. Okay? It's not the other person's fault. There's no blame that can go to them. The only person that you can blame is yourself. So that story has to change. So we're going to do a little activity here. Okay? Give me 1 second. So this is an activation meditation, okay, that I'm going to guide you through. All right, so imagine yourself sitting in a living room with a couch in the middle of the room. You are sitting on that couch, and in front of you is a television. I want you to pick up the remote and turn on the television. I want you to play the event that had hurt you in the past with that person on the television. Just take your time and let it play out. Now I want you to stop the movie that is playing out. I want you to rewind the movie that is playing out. Play it again. Watch everything that is happening. Feel it with your body. I want you to change the color of the television. I want you to change it back to what it was. I want you to fast forward to the end of the situation. I want you to play it again. Now stop. As you are looking at yourself watching this television, in the middle of the room, you're sitting on the couch. As you are watching yourself watch the television, ask yourself, what should I do? And imagine yourself turning toward you and giving your answer. I hope you got your answer that you have been looking for. This is an activation that I learned from Tony Robbins that gave me the answers that I needed for my inner child. I do have this healing also in my playlist if you need to hear it again, or you can back up on this video. but it gives you an idea of what your inner child wants. It gives you an idea of that higher self that has been pushed down for so long because of that belief system that you had. Okay? To let you know the answer of what's next, of what you need to do. All right, so we're going to move on. Saturn can represent work. And with Saturn representing work, it could be trying to tell you that you need to put yourself out there, that you need to tell other people how you did your healing or how to believe in the way that you do, right? I know that sounds dogmatic, but at the same time, people share their beliefs all the time. And this could be a time to where Saturn wants you to be that leader for everyone else, because that is a part of your identity. It doesn't necessarily have to be on a platform. It can just be shared with people that you love in your life, because that first house is activated. It can be shared with your children. It can be shared with your friends. Friendships, children, and also lovers is the first house. This could be a belief system surrounding love. Vulnerability doesn't come easy to a Leo. And I say this because it is the lesson that God, source of the universe, had you sign up for. Because you are a Leo. You represent love. You represent fun, optimism. You represent dating. You represent fun sex. All of these beautiful things. And it's hard for you to grasp them because you are made up of it completely. Okay? It's the same with, I'll give you examples of another sign so you understand. Libra. Libra is made for relationships. Libra is consistently balance, right? Balancing and harmony is ruled by Venus. Well, they have a hard time being balanced, balancing their relationships, balancing things in their life, having relationships, right? That is a Libra. That is their contract of, I'm having to balance everything all the time, because they are made that way. They are made of balance, and they can put balance in anything that they want. They can also have the relationship that they've always wanted, but it's tapping into that. So every time there's a transit, every time there's a planet that hits a certain house, it activates a situation to where they have to implement that balance no matter what. And you yourself have to implement that love, that unconditional love, that God, source, the universe love that is inside of you, and push it to other people and push it into yourself. Okay? Okay. Now I'm getting preachy, right? All right. So let's look at Capricorn, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and that's your 6th house. Capricorn deals with work. It deals with structure. It deals with implementing structure. So something within your lifestyle has to change to structure you in a way to push forward with that belief system and another identity. Okay? So this could look like you working on a daily basis, that your work changes because there's something within your work that you're doing that you don't love. I say this because Saturn is going to show you. Saturn is going to show you whatever you're doing on a daily basis, whatever you're doing on a routine, your coworkers, your professional life, whatever is happening there, Saturn is going to show you how to structure and be of authority within the workplace. This could be that you need to be the boss. You want things to change. You want things to happen the way that they should within the workplace and flow like they should. It's time for you to step up to that ability. Okay? That's where teachers, preachers, and gurus come in that ninth. That's where that fear of you being seen, of you taking the reins, has to change. Okay? You have to step up to your stage of being the leader. This could also look like, if you're not in a professional life like that, if you are someone of retirement, this could look like you have to structure your routine to structure yourself. That you have to build up a new routine for yourself so that you can lead yourself throughout your day, using your time wisely, using some type of exercise regimen or something of movement, okay? Because we're talking about the 6th house of your daily routine that can help with your health, because you have to structure that health, right? You have to be a leader and find your power within the 6th house. Capricorn is professional life, your power, your role in life, okay? And you were made to be a leader one way or another, even if you aren't seen by other people in that aspect. You were made to be a leader of yourself, have your own, and govern your own autonomy of being happy, loved, joyful, and loving other people, because that is that 1st house we're talking about here, right? Your identity is love. Your identity is enjoyment. So it's up to you to create that structure to get there, okay, within your daily routine, and find your power there. I also want to say that 6th house is service to others. So if you've been looking for a professional life of some sort, of an occupation, something that gets you out, makes you seen, service to others is activated here. When it's in the Virgo house, when it's in 6th house, it could be servicing others on a daily basis, such as being a nurse, such as putting yourself in a leadership position of servicing another. Could be that you're cleaning homes, or that you're helping others detail and orientate their business, right? But service to others is activated here if you've been looking for that occupation. Either way, it's in Capricorn, and Capricorn is structure. Capricorn is power and the role that you play. So it could look like a construction job. It could look like, because they build homes, right? Or they build something, right? Or it could look like you have to take the reins of being that detail-oriented person for another, okay? Maybe they struggle with that, and you have leadership there. You have power there. This could also look like you taking care of a father or a father figure, because we have Saturn being the ruler, okay? And that could be something that you have to do on a daily basis. Or be the leader or be the boss, because that is also Capricorn. I do want to look at other aspects here. Give me 1 second. So we looked at Aries definition, Saturn definition. All right, so let's look at that belief system again of the 9th house being ruled by Sagittarius, because Sagittarius is the 9th within astrology, and that is in your 5th. The 5th house represents love, fun, joy, hope, and optimism. It represents children. It represents lovers, dating life. It represents fun sex, your talents and genius, your creative endeavors. This is what makes you happy. When Sagittarius is activated, finding a new belief system, finding a philosophy, this is fun for you. And this could be your endeavor. Finding fun within going at a long distance, like a vacation of a long distance. That is what makes you happy. I do want to remind you of this because if things get, overwhelming, if things get to the point where you're just wanting to sabotage something, because Aries can create that within you, it's time for a vacation. It's time for you to take a drive at a long distance. Okay, it's time for you to dive deep into philosophy. Watch TV shows of some sort of ancient aliens, or look up anything of esoteric religious artifacts, right? This would make you happy. This will help within your emotional body of dealing with sabotage, dealing with anger, dealing with rebellion. Okay? Now, if you're not in love, we're going to talk about love, because there is a belief surrounding love that is keeping you from it. And that is things from childhood. So that activation that I had given you might have helped, but you have to sit and contemplate on, how can I love myself enough to deserve love, right? So one way this can happen is that you have to realize the love that you give yourself, you're allowing others to give you. So if you hadn't been loving yourself enough, if you had been one that has been pushing out the world and sleeping all the time, or you ignore the little things that the person has been giving you, whether that's friendship, right? That they had been giving you presents, being there for you, talking to you, or a lover that has been doing the same, or someone that you're dating has been trying to show their love for you. If you hadn't been receiving that, there's no way that you can push it back out. There's no way that you can give them love too. So it's time for you to understand yourself. It's time for you to dive deep into your belief system of love and why you feel like you don't deserve it, or why you feel like you can't have the love that you want in life. One of the people that I listen to is Abraham Hicks when it comes to love. She does have videos in regards to finding love, and also how to heal that inner child. That could also come from Christina Lopes. She has some videos on inner child healing. But somewhere in between, you felt like you weren't getting the love that you deserve. There was a pause in regards to getting that love anymore, right? And I don't know if it was, like, for example, you had a mother or a father, and whenever you got to a certain age, it felt like you were abandoned. It felt like things changed, right? That is when you started to awakening to the fact of, why aren't people here for me? Why aren't they around? Why don't they love me? Why am I not being seen? You're a Leo, so you want to be seen. They may not have appreciated your hobby or appreciated your talents and genius, and just seeing you as a person that acted out, or seeing you as a person that was dramatic, right? That could have been the thing. But you have to change that story and give that love back to yourself. You have to look at yourself in a different aspect and know that you deserve love like anybody else. Okay? Love is complex. It's not like the movies. It's something that has to be worked on all the time, whether that's a relationship with a significant other, a friendship, or you being a parent yourself and loving your child. That is one way, if you are a parent, that you can judge the love that you have for another, right? Because that is exactly how it's going to be, of unconditional love, that you love them because they are your child, right? Well, you have to love that person because they are your spouse or your friend. That's the same example there. And people don't see it that way. People see it as a different way. The only difference is the things that happen within that relationship, like friendships, for example. You don't treat a friendship like they're your child, but you treat a friendship with unconditional love, because sometimes people are human, right? And they mess up, or they say the wrong thing, or, you know, you might have a blowout or a fight with that person, but you have to realize that they're human too, and you come to that realization easily. Well, the same thing needs to happen with your significant other. The same thing needs to happen with your child. And the same thing needs to happen with you, right? Of you seeing yourself as human. That humans make mistakes. To forgive yourself for whatever you've done, whatever has happened, right? Sometimes we don't have control over what happens, but we can change the belief system surrounding it. That's where compassion comes in. That's where you understand the other person. That's where you start having that, I call it a Christ consciousness, to where that unconditional love is pushing through and shining the light on the situation, no matter if it's good, bad, or whatever. Okay? But yeah, so the 5th house with Sagittarius also, if you've been looking for love, you can find love abroad. You can find love through some type of foreign app that you haven't discovered before, or it could be a foreign person because it's Sagittarius, okay? It could also be literally a Sagittarius. And it could also be literally, if it's not a person, this is a new belief system that you will just fall in love with. This would be something that you find in a philosophy factor of, wow, I had no idea. And then you go down the rabbit hole with it, right? And you enjoy it. And then you turn out to be the leader within that. You turn out to be the teacher, preacher, or guru from discovering a new belief. And this could also be some type of talent and genius that you have within philosophy or within your religious belief system. Okay, that comes out and makes things fun again. But you have to be the one that leads it. You have to be the one that holds the power. That is what Saturn is going to teach you. It's going to teach you how to relate to other people, how to become that person that needs to come out, needs to be seen, needs to be on that stage. Okay? I think that's about it. I know I can talk to you for a very long time, but I do have to move on. So please take time out to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't, and comment, and let us know how you're doing, okay? Let us know where you are within your belief system, whether it's love, religious belief, what have you, okay? Thank you for being here. I'll see you next time.